Yo, it's your boy, Mr. Box Office, on Mr. Box Office TV. Arsenal 2, Tottenham 2, and Tottenham should have won that game. Absolutely 110%. And that's coming from someone that still needs to be convinced this process is long term. But one thing I can say, I've started to get my belief back in my football that I'm watching now. I'm starting to enjoy, and it's getting a buzz out of Mr. Box Office. It's his pleasure of watching great football now and watch my team pass the ball fantastically across the back and to the front and making great chances and giving us the hope of beating anybody on on our day, and that's it. And today proved it against a team that, for me, Arteta is not very good tactically. Postecoglou had him done all day long. Like I said in my first video before, my first short video before. But towards at the beginning, yes, we struggled. It was expected to struggle because we're playing a side that press are very have gone through a big rebuild, and they're at this point now where they could be competing competing for trophies and competing for the Premier League. But towards the end, we started to look very mature and assured in the game. We start with the beginning, and yes, we should have we showed our hands a little bit. We created a little bit of chances, but Arsenal did take over the game, and you saw when Arsenal started taking charge of the game, Saka was starting to get the best of Udogie, who at the beginning had a very difficult start. But the theme is that we started to grow within the game, even though this was a very difficult period for Tottenham Hotspur. Arsenal were getting into the game, and they was making chances. They were pressing us when we were passing it on the back, and that led to the first goal. Saka on the right, taking on Udogie, goes inside, shoots, takes a shot, and unfortunately deflected in by Romero. 1-0 Arsenal. It was then the floodgates were going to open, and this was a crucial point in the game for me. It could have made it much difficult for Tottenham. Maddison, who ended up being my man of the match, loses the ball, and then Jesus had the chance, blazes it over. Well, this is why I felt very, very confident at the beginning of the match, because when I looked at the lineup and I saw Jesus and Nketiah in the team, I didn't see Trossard in the team or Martinelli, I felt very, very confident that we could do something, especially in the midfield when you saw Vieira, who for me was bantered by our midfield, by Basuma, who was okay at the start and it got going, and Sarr, who really got going towards the second half, and Maddison, who was my man of the match. And the reason why Maddison was my man of the match, he created the goal, the opening for Son. Before that, Johnson missed a chance where Son put a really good ball in the box, and it was just really for him to just put in, just to with his laces, just boot in and bang it into the back of the net. It was a really good save from Raya. A really good save from Raya. It was a really good recovering save from Raya. It was a way that he could see he had to rush to the left hand side to block it, and he really did well. Then, after a chance before, Maddison, after Doji put him through, got through the bar, got to the 6-yard box on the left, got past his man, and then put a really nice ball into Son, and Son just delicately put it in with the side of his foot. It was really good goal, and really got us really on the front foot, and got us thinking that we could really press Arsenal to really press on to win this game. So we were going in really high in the first half, going into the second half. But then going into the second half, even more, me feeling even more confident, Declan Rice comes off for an injury and Jorginho came on. But unfortunately, from a corner, put in, there's a melee in the box, and Ben White shoots, and then it hits Romero's hand. VAR check, and then unfortunately the penalty was awarded. For me, not a penalty. If you're going to give a penalty for that, well, I'll need to see penalties every single time if that's going to be a penalty for any time, because his hand was in a natural position, and that was it. Saka takes a penalty and scores, takes it really well, 2-1 Arsenal. But this is a different Tottenham team now. A team that don't stop fighting. A team that always looks to attack. And Jorginho, who got absolutely bantered by Tottenham, especially Maddison, who had his number. I think he couldn't even see him coming, to be honest with you. Didn't see him coming at all. And to be honest with you, it's quite nice to see it because he was a former Chelsea player as well. He robs the ball, Ransom robs the ball off Jorginho, and he puts a delicate, nice ball into Son, and Son scores, takes the ball and just scores and really takes his moment very well. 2-2. And really, Tottenham, you really start to feel Tottenham Hotspur were really going to give it a go to win this game. And I thought this was a game on and we could win this game and win at the Emirates for the first time in how many years. However, game taking a turn with Maddison, who did really well for before he got injured, to put a ball over to Kulusevski or Sarr, and Sarr runs on the ball, runs towards the goal, puts it over to Kulusevski and puts a really nice ball into the box for Son, who just hits the side netting. And that kind of finished your Tottenham, unfortunately. And this was where the worry was, because when Maddison came off, Tottenham Hotspur completely went off. Even though we got through the game, because we didn't have somebody, and Kulusevski, for me, who's unfortunately very one-dimensional in my opinion right now, and could have been used a little bit more in the centre to try and create something for Tottenham. Because when Højbjerg came on and Richarlison, it was kind of like the attacking side of Tottenham with the because we lost that creativeness from Maddison, who for me is a very much a risk taker and always looks to make that pass or puts that through ball. He is the one that was getting us into the game because we were passing it from the back and we were getting pressed very high by Arsenal, and they were snatching the ball off us. But sometimes Maddison will come deep and he'll put a ball over the top to try and get in behind. And it was one of those things where he was the one that was the instigator, always wanting to take that risk. When he was taking out the game, we kind of lost it. And unfortunately, we didn't have anybody on the bench to try and negate that, try and replace that. And unfortunately, we lost our opportunity. But I understood, and we at the end of the day, at the beginning, I was happy that we got a draw at the game. But Arsenal could have easily got the victory, which would have been frustrating for me because Tottenham Hotspur were very much in this game and could have won this game. But for what it was worth, you would take a point from the North London derby if it was at the beginning, at the start of the game, and I take a point. But Tottenham Hotspur really could have won the game, and we got them on the rocks, and it's shown that we really got them on the rocks. That we really pressured them. We got them thinking behind. We were pressuring them on the flanks as well. Maddison was just a constant threat. Basuma grew into the game. Sarr really did grow into the game, making his darting runs in the box as well, towards the goal as well, and causing lots of problems. Van der Ven was faultless. Romero recovered really well, and Porro on the right really put some dangerous crosses in as well. I think we did miss certain players. A certain player like Perisic who could put a ball in the box. Unfortunately, now he's out for the season. He's gone now. But overall, Tottenham Hotspur really stood up and matured throughout this game. And it shows the progress that we are making under Postecoglou. And I'm really now starting to believe in the football that we are playing at the moment. We can say now that, from what I'm saying now, we should have won this game. Because the chances that we had and the opportunities we had when Maddison was on the pitch, Tottenham Hotspur were really giving a go for Arsenal. Yes, you've got to say there were certain times when, especially when Suleiman came on and Richarlison, we struggled to make chances, and we had a few half chances, but we did struggle without Maddison. That was it. Yes, and Arsenal did look good in defence in terms of Saliba was very much the main man in that defence. He was very assured and very calm, and I think that helped Arsenal getting through the game as well. Saka was good as well, caused problems, but I'll have to give props to Udogie. He matured. There was a little bit of worry that he was going to flounder and might even get sent off after getting that first yellow card, but he really matured throughout that second half. And you got to give him props. And really, this was a great test for Tottenham. Even though I don't agree with the fact that we haven't played nobody, we have played some good teams. Because when we looked at the start of the season, I was worried that we were going to struggle at the beginning of the season. You've got to say we have made some really big strides, and playing the football we're playing, the triangles that are happening around the team, the teamwork, the partnerships in the team as well. It's pretty much very good to watch. And it does feel, from what we're seeing now, Tottenham Hotspur are really back in business, and that's it. So that's just an overall deep analysis of the Arsenal Tottenham game from yours truly, Mr. Box Office TV. And as always, as we close, if you didn't know, get to know, support your boy, Mr. Box Office, subscribe and like, and I'm out.